"Darling, your mother changed the password. I can't use her card for my shopping anymore." Her voice had that sharp, spoiled whine over the phone. I stood in the kitchen listening quietly, unseen. 20 minutes later, the front door slammed. My son's voice tore through the house like thunder. "Mother, why would you do this?" She needed the card. They had no idea what else was coming. I once believed love was a shield. When he was born, I swore I'd protect him from everything: the world, hunger, betrayal. I never imagined I'd need to protect myself from him. He used to be gentle, the kind of boy who cried when I cried, who kissed my tired hands after long days. Then she came along, pretty, clever, sweet on the surface. But that sweetness soured into something poisonous the moment the ring touched her finger. I welcomed her, foolishly. I gave her jewelry, dresses, even access to my bank account when they were struggling. Family helps family, I'd say. She smiled like an angel, kissed my cheek, then whispered in my son's ear until my words became the enemy. The first cut is always small: missed visits, cold greetings, the sideways looks. Then came the real wound. I found receipts for luxury trips, designer bags, all under my name. They weren't struggling anymore. They were feeding off me. I didn't confront them. Not yet. Anger burns fast, but revenge takes patience. So I collected evidence, copies of withdrawals, transfers I never approved, a secret account she created using my information. I even hired a quiet investigator, the kind who asked nothing and delivered everything in a neat folder. Photos of her with another man, younger, shirtless, her arms wrapped around him. Enough proof to tear my son in half if I wanted. But I didn't want to beg him to see. I wanted him to feel what I felt, that sting, that collapse. So I waited. I smiled at her. I let her borrow things. I cooked for them when they visited. I played the role of the aging, trusting mother. And slowly, carefully, I pulled everything back. I changed my banking passwords. Then the credit cards. I canceled her favorite one and replaced them with new ones I kept to myself. I met with my lawyer, signed papers, moved properties into trust she could never reach. Brick by brick, I took back everything they thought they were eating off of. The last step was the will. My son always assumed everything would go to him someday. It still will, just not the way he expected. The conditions are strict. He gets nothing if he stays married to her. Proof of divorce or nothing at all. Harsh, maybe, but fair. He can choose her or his inheritance. Which brings us to today. He stormed into the house, face red with anger. I didn't flinch. "Why would you embarrass her like this?" He shouted, hands shaking. He had no idea what kind of storm he'd walked into. "She embarrassed herself," I said, sliding the folder across the table. Bank statements, hotel photos, messages between her and her lover, glowing screens full of passion he couldn't deny. He stopped yelling. The color drained from his face. His wife's name hovered on his lips, but he couldn't bring himself to say it. He flipped page after page, and you could see his denial breaking apart. "She said you were controlling," he whispered to no one. "That you. That I, what? You wanted to ruin her." I leaned in. My voice was low, steady, sharp enough to slice through the air. "I gave her everything, and she took more. She took you from me." His eyes softened with something I hadn't seen in years. Shame. The silence pressed down on both of us. Then, from the hallway, her voice called his name, annoyed and impatient. He looked at the folder again, then at me, and walked out without a word. The house fell quiet. I made tea, sat by the window, watched the wind bend the leaves. I didn't need to see their fight to know exactly how it ended. That folder was a weapon sharper than any knife. It would tear her open from the inside, spilling every lie she built their marriage on. And when he comes back, whether tomorrow or years from now, he will come back knowing the truth. Knowing I moved every piece into place until she had nowhere left to run. Some people might call it cruel. I call it balance. She played me for a fool. She thought an old woman couldn't see or fight back. She forgot the most important rule. I built this family. I know every weak spot. So yes, I changed the password. I shut her out. And in doing so, I opened the door to everything she tried to hide. The best part, I never raised my voice. Never hit her. Never begged. I simply erased her. And the beauty of it is that she'll spend the rest of her life knowing it wasn't my anger that destroyed her, it was her own choices.